When Sean Diddy Combs received a sentence of 50 months in federal prison, the reaction was swift. Outrage, confusion, and disbelief among the public and entertainment business. But according to Michael Francis, a former Calbo criminal family head who spent years behind bars, Diddy's real test is still to come.
Nobody's looking to shank you. When you get into the higher institution, when people are doing, a ton of time and there's no way you can benefit them, then you got a little more problem.
Maybe if he be in a camp type situation, that's a possibility. But based on the lifestyle, what he's done and what he's accomplished, if he had to go behind those bars for a lot of years, I think that he makes a mistake.
Francis explained that despite the public panic, Diddy's legal team did a fantastic job handling an extremely tight case. He claimed that the judge carefully considered all the pertinent elements, such as the years of controversy, the ongoing public scrutiny, and the sincere appeals from Diddy's family. Diddy ultimately received a sentence of just over 4 years in prison, which many insiders believe might have been much more severe.
So he's disappointed, although he really should be. I think, a 4-year sentence here with already credit for the years of it was in. I think he did very well with respect to all of the drama and all of the circumstances around this trial. There's a lot of bad stuff out there, and I'm not judging on that, but it just looked good. And could have gotten up to 10 years or 11 years. So I think the judge, took everything into consideration. I think his family today made a very good plea for him, and I think he did very well. That's my opinion.
So in your experience, your own experience and other, inmates that you can go through it and then show back up at the cell block, how do they take this? Do they bury their head in the pillow and cry? Or do they keep their head held high and just pack their stuff and wait for their assigned to prison? Tell me everything.
Well, everybody's different. I'm sure he went back was somewhat disappointed, so he's probably, dwelling on that. It could have been differently. Maybe I should have gotten out. Maybe he's a little bit upset, a little bit angry. I get it. All those emotions come into play.
It's challenging to figure out where someone like Diddy spends their time. The final decision rests with the Bureau of Prisons, even though a judge may make recommendations. Given his well-known status and the intense public interest in his case, Diddy is unlikely to be assigned to a minimum security camp. Typically, only low-risk inmates are housed in these so-called club-fed facilities, which have open grounds, minimal barriers, and a generally relaxed atmosphere. However, Diddy's high profile raises unique security concerns, making a medium security jail the most likely outcome.
Got to get ready. He'll spend a couple of weeks there until they designate him to a new facility, and he'll be a lot better off in prison than he is in the federal jail. At least there you move around and you got some freedom on the yard, things like that. My thought is collect himself, get himself together. There are ways for him to improve himself. The Bureau of Prisons now has a drug program. If you're allowed to get into that drug program, you can knock as much as 18 months off your sentence. Now, I don't know if he'll qualify, if they'll allow him to go into. He'll probably start to think about, okay, what can I do to reduce my time now? That's what a eventually get into. Is there any way we can better ourselves? He's thinking about what facility they're going to send him to. I'm sure he spoke to his lawyer. He asked his lawyers to put in a facility that's close to his home, close to his family, a low or medium level. I don't think he'll get into it.
And does your request actually count? I thought Fed just put you where it works for them. I didn't think you could pay them.
Well, that's the thing. We ask the judge to recommend. The Bureau of Prisons doesn't have to go along with the judge's recommendation, but it does help a little bit. We do try to sometimes satisfy the judge's request. Put in a request, and sometimes they'll honor it.
That is a world Francis knows. He reflected on his own experiences in low security camps and higher security prisons. According to him, the camp's open perimeters were built on trust rather than walls. But one mistake, move, or oversight may quickly put someone back in a much harsher situation. Francis believes that rather than focusing only on the type of facility Diddy ends up in, his experience will also be influenced by his actions and modifications after he enters the building.
The camp, the lowest security and therefore more paddle and tennis and all the other things, and what they call club fed or camp state.
Yeah, they moved to the camp by accident at one point, and there's no fences or anything like that. And I wasn't there for too long because they realized they made a mistake and put me back in immediate security. But they tell you when you get there, listen, there's no fences. If you want to leave, you can leave. But when we catch you, we're going to add another 5 years onto your sentence. And while I was in that camp for 2 months, each month somebody ran away. I mean, they always try to do that. But yeah, he's thinking of that. Immediate security.
Go back to that piece about he's high profile so he won't get a camp. Why wouldn't he? I thought in a camp, nobody's going to shank him. Again, they want out.
The overriding factor there, I believe, is he's a guy with a lot of money. And I'll tell you, this happened to me when I went in there because of the profile I had, because of the way he wrote me up. I had everybody and their brother inmate trying to do a deal with me when I got out. Steal. They need money. The fact that he's a money guy, I think he's going to have more friends than he will. In immediate security, normally nobody's looking to shank you. When you get into the higher institutions, when people are doing, a ton of time and there's no way you can benefit them, then you got a little more problem. But in immediate security, I don't think he'll have an issue at all. I really don't. He's too much to inmates that are always looking for something. And he could be a golden ticket for some people, at least in their mind.
Diddy's real test is about to start. One far more challenging than anything he has faced in court. The isolation, the austere lifestyle, and the alienation from everything he knows will drive him in ways that a celebrity could never. This reality, which demands a certain amount of honesty, is often shielded from individuals by success. Right now, his legal team is working to have him moved to a facility closer to his family. Ideally one that offers a more safe and restorative setting. But not everyone believes he deserves that luxury. His former bodyguard, Gene Deal, has openly declared that Diddy should not be spared any mercy for the penalty he is currently receiving.
The artist got him dropping doing at the time of the verdict, crying on shit. My heart goes out and it says, come and feed them babies. I can care less about his sadness. I can care less about him being in pain. I can care less about what he has to be faced with in court or in jail. I don't have no remorseful feelings for him, bro. You understand? This is somebody that at one time I would have given my own life for. And to know this was trying to get you to take my life because I was trying to teach him to be right by people and tell him to be right by people. I have no remorse for this dude, bro. To see him like that, I know there is a God. And you can feel all the way you want to feel about me. You can say whatever you want to say about me. But karma is a mother. And if it ever gets back to you, when you have done somebody wrong, I'm not saying me. I'm saying when you have done people wrong, you have done all the people wrong. To see him on his knees begging like that, I would say something, but the LGBT community be out there. So you'll never hear me say, so I don't want to get in trouble with it. But bruh, I'm happy to get in the girl to see him like.
In a letter to Judge Arun Subramanian on Monday, Diddy's defense team requested that the Bureau of Prisons transfer him to FCI Fort DAXS, a large, low-security federal institution in southern New Jersey. Tenny Garagos, Diddy's attorney, said that Fort DIXS would give Diddy the best opportunity to address his substance misuse issues while being close to his family for support and visits. RDIP, the jail's well-known residential drug abuse program, is a rigorous 9 to 12-month treatment program that can reduce sentences by up to a year and assist offenders get back on their feet. A huge plus for someone who might be imprisoned for a further 3 years. Gene Deal, Diddy's former security is not persuaded, asserting that Diddy is irreparable and that his sentence is merely the appropriate consequence. Over the years, FCI Fort Dix has held several well-known inmates. Diddy's defense team is clearly drawn to it. It offers a genuine path to rehabilitation, is convenient, and allows for frequent family visits. But not everyone agrees that Fort Dix is the best location. Christopher Zuckes, publisher of the Federal Prison Handbook and prison counselor, says the facility is unpredictable. He has cautioned that despite its peaceful appearance, Fort Dix has long struggled with issues including gang activity, staff shortages, and the smuggling of illicit products. Given that Tupac Shakur is still revered by many inmates, Diddy might be in grave danger there. Given that some people believe Diddy was engaged in the events that led to Tupac's death, he could be a target behind prison.